Hello everyone, Armored Guy here. As you may now know, I'm a huge JoJo fan. However, recently upon rewatch, there's a certain part that has bothered me the most while watching. I'm here to talk about it by taking it one episode at a time and dissecting my issues. I will have a loose script and notes while I discuss this. If you can't tell which part I'm referring to by the title, it's Part 6 Stone Ocean. Today we will discuss the first episode. There's not going to be too much to talk about, and this video will be rather short. However, I think it's still important that I start with this episode. I may do the other parts after this series is over, but that depends how I feel after this. I feel like this part has the most issues. And while there is BS and things that I don't particularly like in the other parts as well, I don't know if I necessarily have to make an entire series going over every episode. Maybe I can just be more specific with those and make just maybe videos. Um anyway, before we begin, I will note that I'm going solely based off the anime version. So, what that means is if there's anything different in the manga, please let me know, because that may actually help my issues. And maybe the anime is just really dog crap. Maybe they just really fucked everything up. Yeah, so if there's anything in the manga that's relevant, let me know. I'm also going off the Netflix translations, so keep that in mind. One last thing, I will be rewatching each episode before I make the video on it, to have the clearest memory, while also using the wiki's episode summary to help avoid mistakes. Let's begin. Okay, so Jolene starts off in the prison, and not too much happens. We get her introduction, or not in a prison, but in a holding cell with various other female prisoners. Yada yada yada. Not too much. We get into the whole lawyer stuff right after, where she talks to her lawyer. She gets the pendant from Jotaro, from her lawyer, and then she gets pierced, obviously. First thing I want to mention is that we hear a little bit about Jolene's mom, but I really would have liked to know a lot more about how exactly her and Jotaro met, and how they what the whole deal was with his mom. I don't know, because Jotaro didn't really seem like the married type. Maybe not that I can't see him going into that role eventually as he got older. It's just they don't really talk about it. We meet Hermes, Jolene's power starts to manifest, and we see that messages and sounds and her words can travel along the string. And okay, that's fine. That's a fine power that she can do. I'm fine with her doing that, since they introduced that early, that's also something that she could do. And that's how she hears the conversation that goes with Hermes in the prisoner truck, and she helps her out. And they seem to be good buddies already. Jolene then, when talking to her lawyer, remembers the event that happened with Romeo. Now, obviously, at this point, we know that Pucci was behind this, right? Because we know that he orchestrated all this. Now, I'm pretty confident that, well, no, I'm not even pretty confident. I know for a fact that the lawyer and Romeo did not know. They had no idea that this was it. It was just Romeo paying off the lawyer, so he was betraying Jolene, right? So, but yeah, my assumption is maybe Pucci put a disc in somebody telling them to go out in the street when they were coming close. And I assume that he probably monitored Jolene beforehand to figure out where she was going to be, because obviously he's been waiting forever, so I assume he has plenty of time to do that. And that would make sense to me. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. We get to the strip search where she mocks the guards, and then we see the lawyer. She notices the lawyer talking to one of the guards. The guard gives the lawyer a note that says, "Pass this to him, feeling comfy, but you will keep sweating now and forever." Pretty much saying that she's gonna murk him, destroy him. He gets in his car, goes away, turns on the air conditioning, and strings fly out of the fan and strangle him. And the lawyer crashes his car into the railway, injuring him. And then Jolene notes that she can control the strings with her will, which explains why after the strings she put in the fan come out, they immediately choke the lawyer. So, this shows that she has a pretty high range for the strings and planting them in the car to control, despite her being in the prison. So, because he was driving away from the prison, so that's definitely a pretty good range. That she could not only have the strings there and shoot him out. The only issue that I have with this is, I'm pretty sure her stand's range is only 2 meters, and I'm pretty confident about saying that because almost every main JoJo's ability is not that long. Oh wait, okay. I looked it up, it's 24 meters. But it says unraveled to 70%. I don't know how far 24 meters is. I don't think it's nearly. I'm almost certain that it was not that far. That it was that range, 24 meters, is not nearly as far as she would need to go. So that already that's something that I have an issue with, is how did she even get those in there? The only thing I can think of is maybe, if we're really stretching, maybe she put in the car beforehand, which she probably did, but the thing is I still, from the window, I still am pretty sure that's out of 24 meters, but I'll be willing to give that a pass if that's wrong. Anywho, when she got, earlier, I forgot to mention, but when she got the stone pendant, the arrow from Jotaro pendant, she just tosses it in the drain, and the episode ends with someone else finding the arrow that in the drain, and it's obviously Guess. Now we know. I'm talking about the series, assuming that you have already seen it. So when I say stuff, I'm not gonna be acting like you don't know. I'm gonna assume that you've seen everything, and if you need to rewatch, then you can rewatch. One last thing I want to mention right now is when she was about to when she saw the lawyer and they passed a note thing, Jolene right after says that she swears she will escape prison and enact revenge. But for some reason she then fondly thinks of Romeo, despite now knowing he sold her out. She knows now, but she thinks fondly, and she's like, "Goodbye, my first love, Romeo." Because although she's saying goodbye, she's smiling and looking up, and it's they make it seem like she really I don't know. Maybe it's because of heartbreak. I'll let that pass. I just really don't understand why this is the case and why they decided to portray it that way. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if anyone has any answers to any of the questions I ask, please let me know, because I'm going off the anime version, so if something in the manga happens, it's not like this. That's good to know. By the way, although there's not many issues that I had really with this episode, and it's a solid first episode, and I didn't cover every base of everything that happens in the episode, but I covered the points I had an issue with. I might get more into detail in later episodes, but what I'm trying to say is that it's only really going to get worse from here. I didn't say much here because there's not much to say, but sadly it is only going to get more frustrating and worse from here. I will make it known that I do enjoy this part. This is a JoJo part. I'm not going to lie and say oh, I didn't like watching it. I did like watching it, but it just most stuck out to me here when something was so BS, and there would seem to be an abundance of weird writing or bad writing or just really BS things that didn't make any sense and made things hard to follow, or just weren't compelling to me at all. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and tune in for the next episode of Dissecting Stone Ocean. Peace.